Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to an ESPN NFL 2K5 franchise rebuild with the Detroit Lions. Our NFC East tour continues as we head off to the Big Apple to face the New York Football Giants. You can see this is a little bit more even of a matchup on paper between the Lions and the Giants, but we are still without our starting quarterback in Joey Harrington and our starting outside linebacker in Boss Bailey. And without further ado, let's take it down to the field at East Rutherford, New Jersey, here at Giants Stadium. You know, New York, New Jersey, it's all the same thing, where the New York Giants are ready to take on the Detroit Lions. Will Allen getting the highlight here before the game, as well as Dre Bly. Let's see if either of them can make an impact in the secondary today. The Lions will win the toss, so they will take over from their own 29. The rookie Kevin Jones getting the first run, 4 yards on the play, 2nd and 6. Jones takes it once again up the middle, only getting 1 yard on the stop from Barrett Green. 3rd and 5. McMahon still in for the injured Harrington, complete over the top to Charles Rogers for 24 yards, and we have a first down for the Lions. After the play action, McMahon throws deep for Rogers again, this one falling incomplete. 2nd and 10, Jones takes the toss to the right side, has a few blockers in front of him, but gets met quickly by Emmons, taken down for a gain of 3 yards. 3rd and 7, McMahon finds Hakeem over the middle, a nice little floater over the middle to Azahir Hakeem for the first down for the Lions. Schlesinger getting 4 yards on the first down run. Barrett Green again on the tackle. McMahon standing tall in that pressure from the Giants, finding Roy Williams on the left side for 13 yards. And on the first down for the Giants 15, Jones draws to the middle for 5 yards. Allen in there on the stop. 2nd and 5, McMahon tossing to the end zone, almost gets it intercepted, falls harmlessly out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. 3rd and 5, McMahon trying to make something, gets sacked by Joseph for a loss of 5 yards, and the Lions will have to settle in this first drive for a 33-yard field goal by Hansen. The kick is up and good, and the Lions strike first, taking an early 3-0 lead late in the first quarter. Giants taking over, 1st and 10. Warner, play action pass, complete to Amani Toomer for 18 yards. Walker in there on the stop, and on the next play, Tiki Barber gets touched by absolutely nobody. Taking it to the right side, Brandon misses his opportunity to get the stop before the touchdown, and it's a 60-yard touchdown run for the New York Giants and Tiki Barber on the second play of their offensive possession. We'll take a look at this one more time. Tiki has a good block in front of him, shakes Walker out of the outside, and he is off to the races. Sam Brandon, the last defender to have a chance, and let's be honest, that was a user miss. I will own that. And Tiki Barber steps all the way into the end zone for 60 yards, and the Giants are right back on the board, 7-3. Schlesinger tries to make something out of nothing, only gets a 1-yard loss out of that. Could have been a lot worse. McMahon does make something out of this throw, complete to Rogers for 15 yards. 1st and 10 from the Detroit 27. McMahon looking for Williams deep on the left side. This one in and out of his hands, falls incomplete. Now on the 2nd and 10, Jones takes the counter to the right side, has a couple of blockers, makes a move, gets 7 yards on that one, taken down for a 3rd and 3. And on the 3rd and 3, Jones gets stuffed up the middle by Emmons. No gain on the play. The Giants will get the ball right back, and they waste no time. Kurt Warner complete to Ike Hilliard for 20 yards, stopped by the safeties Brandon and Bryant. And on the next 1st and 10, Warner finds Jeremy Shockey for 16 yards. Brandon again saving the touchdown. The next 1st and 10, the next first down, 3 in a row. It's a turkey and bowling, everybody. Going into the second quarter, Toomer has a catch for 15 yards, and the Giants are up 7-3. Starting the second quarter with a 1st and 10 from the Lions 12. Warner finds Toomer, this one only 6 yards. It's a second down for the first time in this drive, and on the 2nd and 6, Barber gets 4 yards on the carry, Curry with the stop. And on the 3rd and 2, Bryant rises up and takes the ball away from Kurt Warner, and he is thinking pick 6. He's out to the 30 before Kurt Warner, of all people, gets back there to stop Fernando Bryant from getting all the way into the opposite end zone, but the damage has been done, and the Detroit defense stands tall on this one. You can see that big vertical leap from Fernando Bryant there. He tries to use his speed to get past all of the Giants pursuing him, and it's Kurt Warner that gets to take him down before getting all the way back to the end zone, and the Lions have some life. Jones spinning out of a tackle, gets to the right side for 3 yards before Allen takes him down, something out of nothing. 2nd and 7, OCU Minora is coming through like a freight chain and gets McMahon for a sack, a loss of 6. And on the 3rd and long, McMahon tosses long to Rogers on the left side. This one didn't have a chance, incomplete, and the Lions will hand it right back to the Giants. On the 1st and 10, Warner finds Ike Hilliard. He gets backwards on the run, only 3-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 7, Warner throwing to the left side, finds Toomer, 10-yard gain on the play. The tackle by Bly, there was a pass interference called, they would decline getting that first down. Barber's right back at it on the 1st and 10. He gets 16 yards on the play. Teddy Lehman knocks him out of bounds. 1st and 10 from the from the Lions 41. Barber runs left side for 4 yards. Big Sean Rogers chases him down. Great recovery by Big Sean there. 2nd and 6. Warner throws it to the right side. The pass is incomplete. Brian Walker would be hurt on the play, but he would return to the game, and you would see him on the injury list later, but he would only be probable for the time that he is injured. And on the 3rd and 6, Warner throws it up. It's bounced up by Bryant, deflected off of the rookie Shivers, and intercepted again by Fernando Bryant. That one we couldn't believe when we were doing it live. We saw the opportunity, and we literally snatched it when we could. We'll see this again. Warner tosses the ball to the right side. It's going to be deflected by Fernando Bryant. It bounces off of Shivers' shoulder, and Fernando Bryant, the heads-up play, snags the interception, and the Lions are right back in business, and Kevin Jones is wasting no time. He gets to the left side, 5 yards on the play. 2nd and 5, pass to Schlesinger on the flat, complete. He gets it all the way to the first down, but the flag is down, and this flag is going on the Detroit Lions. It would be called back all the way with an offensive holding penalty on the line. 2nd and 15 for McMahon. He throws to the right side, finds Rogers, only a 2-yard gain on the play. Big 3rd and 13. McMahon throwing over the middle, finding his tight end, Steven Alexander, for 20 yards, and the Lions save a 1st and 10 from their own 37. Jones running up the middle, has a block, forces a defender off of him, and gets up the middle for 10 yards. They would call it 2nd and inches, so Schlesinger takes it another 9 just to get the proper first down. 1st and 10 now from Giants territory. McMahon finds Roy Williams over the top. He beat a couple of defenders, and he has a 28-yard gain. 1st and 10 from the Giants, 16 now. Jones takes the run, loss of 2. Strahan hits him in the backfield for the loss. McMahon, he had someone over the middle, and I'm pretty sure this is a case of hitting the wrong button when you wanted to find someone else, but because the ball was intercepted by Stoutmire and he technically ran it backwards into the end zone, the referees would call it a safety, which means the Lions would get 2 points. It's now 5-7, and the Giants would have to punt the ball back to us, and we are in business. The next play, with clock winding down on the half, McMahon finds Rogers all the way into the end zone for 67 yards, and just like that, a huge swing. We were down 3-7, and now we're going into halftime up 12-7, a gigantic swing of events and fortune for the Detroit Lions here in New York City. And Charles Rogers is on top of the world right now. Make sure you keep that camera on him is what you should be doing. And heading into halftime, the Lions are up 12-7, snatching victory from the jaws of defeat in this halftime here in New York City. Taking a look at the tail of the stats so far, we've got a great passing day. Those 67 yards from Charles Rogers certainly did not hurt before we went into halftime, but of course we are struggling to keep the ball held down on the ground. Barber with that huge run hasn't done a ton of damage since, but you know that's always a possibility, and those 2 interceptions by Fernando Bryant really helping to turn the tide here. And the Giants would get the ball back in the start of the half, the 3rd quarter, and after that first down run from Barber up the middle for 1 yard, Barber will get the carry to the left on the counter, and he's only getting 1 yard out of that one as well. Lehman on both of those tackles. And on the 3rd and 8, Warner doesn't like what he sees downfield, scrambles, maybe had a chance to get the first down, but Curry forced the slide down, and the Lions will take the ball right back. Jones getting some room to the outside, gets a great run on this, stiff arms a defender away, jukes another one out of there, and hits the turf after a gain of 27 yards. The rookie Kevin Jones is having the breakout game that we needed him to have. He was struggling up until this point. You can see a huge stiff arm followed by the even huger juke before he's tackled and brought down for a huge gain of 27. I just said huge a lot. Well, that's how I feel about it. 1st and 10. McMahon throws it up to Fitzsimmons. That's not the guy you want catching passes. Let's just say his catch rating is very low. 2nd and 10. McMahon throws it over the middle to Azahir Hakeem again. 12-yard gain on the play, but Hakeem would be injured, but he would return later on in this game. In the 1st and 10 from the Giants 19, Jones tosses to the left, spins out of a tackle, but is tackled down for a gain of 2 yards. On the 2nd and 8, McMahon throws it over to the right side. Williams once again has a step on the fade route, and this one is complete in the end zone for 17 yards. The Lions going up even bigger this time, 19-7 here at the start of the 3rd quarter. A great play and a great connection from McMahon to Roy Williams. On the 1st and 10 for the Giants, that pass from Warner is almost intercepted by Walker. 2nd and 10. This time on the play action, Warner rolling left, throws it up to Toomer, who has it, and he has 11 yards on the play, a first down for the New York Giants. Warner this time finding Toomer again. He has some room in front of him, and this one's going to be a 29-yard gain. Brandon actually getting in there for the stop, and the Giants are feeling a little bit of momentum charging down the field. 1st and 10 from the Lions 38. Warner throws it up to the left side. It's caught by Tim Carter, who evades Sam Brandon, and he is in the end zone just like that. A 38-yard gain, and the Giants are right back in this one. 14-19 is now the score. The Lions lead only 5 points. You can see this one. Someone missed their assignment. Tim Carter was wide open, and he had nothing but space to turn on the afterburners and get into the end zone. The Lions taking over. Jones gets the run up the middle. He gets 4 yards on the play, almost spun out of the tackle, but Griesen's there to take him down. 2nd and 6. McMahon dropping back, throwing it over the middle. This one bounces away incomplete. We think some Giants got their hands on that one. 3rd and 6. Big third down here. Arnaz Battle in for the injured Azahir Hakeem. Gets that reception for 12 yards. The Lions get a 1st and 10. And on that 1st and 10 from the 36, McMahon throws it to the left side. Rodgers gets the catch, shakes and bakes, and gets over the line for a gain of 11 yards. A fresh set of downs for the Lions. Jones takes the toss to the right side, has a little bit of space. Fitzsimmons barely gets a block for him, but he does get 4 yards out of that one. 2nd and 6. McMahon passes it to the aforementioned Azahir Hakeem, who rises up and snags that one, gets a big hit afterwards, but a gain of 22 yards and a first down for the Lions. Jones sweeping out to the right side. His space gets swallowed up quickly, only a gain of 1 yard on that one. McMahon rolling to the left on 2nd down, rolls a little bit further. He had someone on that left side, but he waited just a little bit too long, and Charles Rodgers drops it out of his hands, a little hot potato in the end zone. 3rd and 9, McMahon to keep the drive alive, throws it over the middle. Roy Williams all alone, almost gets out of the tackle, but he gets a gain of 14 yards for the 1st and 10 from the New York 12. Jones has a little bit of space, some blocking, and a great gain of 7 yards on the run as you see this just gorgeous New York City skyline as we head into the 4th quarter. The Lions and the Giants are in a tight one here in New York, 19-14. Starting the 4th quarter here from a 2nd and 3. Jones takes a toss to the left side and gets a gain of nothing on that run. And on the 3rd and 3, Jones up the middle again, and the Giants defense was ready and waiting. Barrett Green takes him down for a loss of 2, and the Lions settle for a field goal. 24-yarder by Hansen is good, and the Lions are now up 22-14. The Giants take back over at their own 20. Barber sweeps to the left side. This time Curry chases him all the way down, drags him from behind, and a 2-yard gain for Tiki Barber. 2nd and 8. Warner drops back, throws it to the right side, finds just turf. Incomplete pass from the New York Giants. 3rd and 8. Warner's going to drop back. He's going to look for his guy, Amani Toomer. Walker misses his assignment as the safety, and Toomer and Cash are off to the races. He crosses the 20, the 15, the 10, and he just barely gets past the 5 before Cash gets him on the shoestring tackle. We have a 1st and goal from the Detroit 4. On that 1st and goal, the first pass in the end zone deflected by Curry. We have a 2nd and goal. They go back to their bread and butter. A toss to the left side to Tiki Barber. He works through the tackle from Holmes, and he is in the end zone. Just like that, the Giants are within reach of getting this one tied and maybe even taking the lead before the game is over. We can see that again. Earl Holmes almost could have made the play, but he drags Barber into the end zone, and they go for the 2-point conversion, and Shockey makes an incredible one-handed grab to get this one, and the Giants have tied this thing in the 4th quarter. The score now 22-22. The Lions trying to take the lead again before the game ends. McMahon throws to the left side, just barely misses Williams there. 2nd and 10. McMahon will find Azahir Hakeem, who's back in the game and taking big hits after being injured. 18-yard gain on the tackle from Stoutmeyer. This time Jones gets a run. He's going to get 5 yards out of this one. Thought he had some space, but Williams denied him that space very quickly. 2nd and 5. McMahon drops back, throws it over the middle. We have Hakeem with a reception again for 14 yards. 1st and 10 from the Giants 43. Jones trying to get something going in the middle, only gets 1 yard out of it. Barrett Green always there to meet you with the tackle. 2nd and 9. McMahon looking for Roy deep, just outside of his hands, deflected away by a Giants defender as well. 3rd and 9. McMahon trying to get a throw off, and he doesn't even have time to look downfield. Robbins hits him for the sack and a loss of 5. Giants take over from their own 45, or from their own 15, I should say. Barber gets a 6-yard run up the middle. 2nd and 4. Now Barber up the middle again, gets 3 yards, not enough for the first down. Curry dragging him down behind the line. 3rd and 1. Barber does the job. He gets a 3-yard gain. Walker drags him down, but it's a first down for the Giants from their own 27. Barber runs it up the middle. Lehman drags him down with the help of Curry. 6-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 4, deja vu. Warner drops back. He throws it this time. Ike Hilliard grabs it in the sea of Lions defenders, turns and runs with it, and he gets 21 yards on the gain. 1st and 10 from the Lions 46. Warner dropping to his right, throwing it to his left. Bly tries to get the defense on that one, but that one is complete for a long gain of 13 yards on the 1st and 10. Barber takes the run to the left side. Hall is there. Lehman is there, and he has a loss of 3 yards. A good stop from this Lions defense. 2nd and 13. Warner looking to Shockey, who has it on the hook route. 6-yard gain. Brandon there to smack him down. 3rd and 7. Warner trying to keep the drive alive. Throws it over the top, and it bounces off of his receiver. Incomplete. The 47-yard field goal to take the lead as the time is winding down is left, and no good. We honestly thought we were screwed that time, and the Lions have some hope. McMahon throws it to left side. Rogers has it, gets knocked out of bounds for a gain of 7 yards. 2nd and 3. We need this completion, and this completion over the top to Hakeem, who had it in his hands, and he drops it away. That would have been a huge one that could have given us the victory. And on the 3rd and 3 to keep the drive alive, McMahon throws it to the turf, and that is going to take us into overtime. At the end of regulation, we're all tied up, 22-22. The Giants would win the toss going into overtime, and they would do as they always do, hand it off to Tiki Barber, who gets a good gain of 5 yards up the middle. 2nd and 5, Warner dropping back, throwing to Barber, this time out of the backfield, who manages 7 before Curry takes him down for a gain of 7 yards, giving the Giants a 1st and 10 from their own 38. Barber runs over to the right side, gets a gain of 6 before Teddy Lehman takes him down. 2nd and 4, Barber runs it to the left. You think we had him dead to rights there, and he breaks free. We're talking about grasping victory from the jaws of defeat. Barber runs to that left side for 26 yards, and the Giants are set up for the win. The 1st and 10, Warner throws incomplete. The 2nd and 10, Barber runs to the right side, only getting 1 yard this time. Earl Holmes makes up for that last one. And on the 3rd and 9, Warner drops back. He has Toomer open because the safety went to cover over the middle. Who was controlling that safety, you might ask? I couldn't tell you. You might have to go back and check for yourself. And Toomer is in the end zone. A touchdown for the Giants will end it here in the Meadowlands. The final score is Detroit 22, New York 28. We'll see that one more time. Bryant couldn't come up with heroics that he came up with in the first half with those 2 interceptions, and the New York crowd will go home with a victory, and as will the New York Giants. The Lions fought their hardest, although they did blow this one here at the end. Final score 22-28, and we will see you in the next one. Taking a look at the final stats for the game, McMahon did his best, as did Jones, but the Giants just did better. They got more yards with far less time of possession, and they held to just those 2 turnovers after those interceptions by Bryant. We can see McMahon here, 17 for 29, 313 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. The best day he has had, that is for sure. Looking at our running backs, Jones did have 20 attempts for 85 yards. That is the best day that he has had on the ground so far. Unfortunately, we could not get him into the end zone to reward that work, but who did get in the end zone were Charles Rogers with 6 receptions for 126 yards and that touchdown, and our rookie Roy Williams, 4 receptions, 72 yards, and 1 touchdown. Shout out to Dante Curry for 9 total tackles, and of course Fernando Bryant for his 4 total tackles and his 2 interceptions on the day. Those were 2 good picks. We needed them in the beginning of the game, but unfortunately we just couldn't hold it up throughout the end of the contest, and we dropped this one in overtime. You can see our injury report here. We're still without Terrence Holt for a while. Boss Bailey, Joey Harrington, and Brian Walker will all be considered healthy in 3 weeks, and we continue our road trip to Dallas the next time we face up against those Cowboys. We are 2-4. We're on our way to rebuilding. So thanks for coming out. Please like, comment, and subscribe to this video. We're trying to turn this team around, but it might be more sucking before it gets better. We do live stream these videos, so feel free to pull through on those or go check them out if you want to see all of the gameplay in its entirety. This is Peanuts 24/7, signing off. Bye now.